I think what God is saying to you is the mandate is spend time with me in intimacy and forget the rest. Because sometimes you need a season to come into that place of deeper intimacy to go to the next level when it comes to government and when it comes to purpose. And I think we're conditioned into thinking we should be doing something.
Yeah.
Not doing anything. What am I doing? Where's my mandate? What am I doing? Not doing anything, and feeling almost guilty that we're not doing anything. But Jesus said, come to me and find rest. Now, initially, that rest is stop doing all the stuff you're doing. Focus on getting deeper in relationship with me. Then let's see where that then unfolds the things from a different perspective, because you'll see things differently then.
Yes.
You'll have a different perspective, a different way of seeing through God's eyes, seeing from heaven rather than earth. And you may find that things change significantly because you're no longer doing, but being. And I think God, for everybody, would want them to come into a state of being. And to do that, you have to stop doing for a while. It's so hard to enter into being if you keep doing. Because we're conditioned to doing in everything, life, world. You should be doing something. You know, it's like, well, you should be busy. Well, why, you know, it feels guilty to relax. Well, God wants you to be enjoying the relationship. So don't put an agenda on it and don't keep asking God what your mandate is. Just enjoy being with him and cooperate with him in that place of intimacy. And sometimes he may not say anything to you for a while. I learned more when he stopped speaking to me and started hugging me than ever before, because I got this infusion of knowledge and truth. And it was so hard not, you know, it was almost like he had to constrain me to stop me doing. Because I was going into heaven every day, going to engage the ark. What is my mandate? What are you calling me to do today? What are we going to be doing? So then I would engage him, open my first love gate, sort of exchange pleasantries, if you like. And then it was, what are we doing? Where are we going? You know, and it was like, I think he got to the point where I think he was trying to show me that wasn't the ideal, but I wasn't listening. Because it's exciting doing things, particularly new things, from a position of, hey, I can do all this stuff in heaven. But that became my focus, and the relationship became a lesser focus. And so he hugged me for months and months and months. Father, Son, Spirit, hug me. I learned more about who they are and therefore who I am, because he constrained me. And for the first few weeks, I still would ask, what we're going to do? Nothing. We just hugged. And then it was like, okay, maybe I'm asking the wrong question here. Maybe I need to stop asking questions. Maybe I just need to just enjoy the embrace, because I was squirming, trying to get away to do something. And he was trying to hug me closer, not letting me get away. So in the end, I just stopped struggling, just enjoyed being in that place. And that was another step on the journey that took me away from doing and my identity coming from what I do, to just learning to know myself from his perspective and the vast sum of his thoughts, agree with him. Then I didn't really have to focus on, well, what am I going to do today? Because I knew his heart. We get to that point where we instinctively know the heart and intentions of the Father, and we only seek to do that which he's doing. And we don't have to have a mandate in one sense. The mandate is his heart.
Yes.
So the closer I am to his heart, the more I'm only going to do what I feel and sense he's doing. And that was what Jesus was doing all the time. You know, he didn't get up in the morning and say, Father, what's my mandate today? He just welcomed that presence, enjoyed being in the Father being in him, and then sensing the Father's desires, only did what he saw the Father doing or perceived the Father's heart to be, in intimacy, in relationship, and never had to do anything outside of that. And therefore wasn't challenged when other people wanted him to do something that wasn't on the Father's desire. Sometimes we find it really difficult when we're with groups of people not to be constrained by what they want us to do or what they're asking us to do, or what we're invited to do. And maybe that's not a bad thing, that we get to the point where we're not in that place for a while, where we're sort of under people's direction or listening to what people think we should be doing. Sometimes we just have to stop, be still, and know that I'm God. Now, I know it doesn't mean stop life. And I know I can be doing lots and lots of things and still be still and still be at rest, because it's now a state of being and mind rather than something I do. You know, I'm not trying to rest, I'm at rest. But to do that, God had to take me through the process of stopping and getting deconstructed from the old covenant mindset of having to perform, be obedient, do stuff. And now I'm free not to have to try and please God with my performance, because he told me I'm already pleasing to him and I don't have to do anything. I'm loved unconditionally, so I don't need to do anything to earn that or deserve it or anything else. I just enjoy it. So enjoy it. Enjoy this season. Don't try and struggle your way out of it. Enjoy it. Yeah, this rest is so important going forward. Yeah, because it's so much easier to discern the Father's perspective and heart than when we're continually focused on what should I do? You know, how do I do it? And then how do I do it right? I don't want to get it wrong, which is another one, you know. And that's, again, that whole mindset of, well, if I'm not doing it well, if I'm not doing it perfectly, if I'm not doing it according to the will of God, well, actually, when I know God's heart, he says, do it whichever way you like. There's no right or wrong way of doing things. It needs to be how we do it from who we are. Therefore, you don't need to follow someone else's pattern of how you do something once you discover who you are. And being free from that mindset of needing to get it right, or we failed, or we've not done it good enough, and therefore, well, I'm not good enough. You know, it comes back down to identity. When I know who I am, independently of any works, then I'm free. You know, I'm free just to be. And everything flows then. You know, there's such a flow that comes from being. Everything is energized. Everything is easier. Everything seems to be so much more clear when we're not sort of, oh, I mean, what should I be doing? Oh, look at all the things in the world. I mean, you'll find a billion things to do if you look, you know, but that doesn't mean that any of those things are the things that God's doing or God wants you to do. You know, and the hardest thing is when you do see something that God wants done, but he doesn't want you to do it. Well, you know, I seen it. Well, it's like, well, no, someone else will do it. You know, that's fine. You know, but it's difficult. You know, there are struggles. You know, when we sort of change the patterns of how we've lived, there are struggles.